Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're about to start a new series called Karmic Intelligence, where we're going to explore a really precise and, well, structured idea from the Bhagavad Gita. So let's dive right in. Okay, so right from the get-go, I want to be super clear about what we're doing here. This channel, and especially this series, it's not about belief systems, it's not about rituals, and it's definitely not about just handing you a list of moral instructions. Nope. Instead, we're going to be focusing on and sharpening one single incredibly powerful tool, and that tool is discernment. That ability to see things exactly as they are, without all the noise. So this series is all about exploring the Gita's explanation of moral order. But we're not talking about a list of do's and don'ts. Not at all. We're looking at something much more subtle, an underlying logic. It's almost like a form of ethical physics, you could say. One that just operates quietly, structurally, and always over time. And this approach, it totally reframes a word that, let's be honest, we all think we know. Karma. The common view is that it's some kind of cosmic system of reward and punishment. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad, right? Well, the Gita suggests something way more sophisticated. It's not about reward or punishment, it's about alignment. Let me just repeat that because it's so important. Karma here is not reward or punishment, it is alignment. Let's just let that sink in for a second. This one single shift in perspective moves the whole idea away from some kind of external judgment, some thing keeping score up in the sky. It brings it inward to a state of personal coherence, to integrity. Okay, so if it's about alignment, you might be asking, how is this alignment even tracked? Well, the system, so to speak, looks at four key things. It looks at our actions, of course, but it also looks at our intentions behind those actions. It looks at our capacity for restraint, which is a big one, and finally, the level of clarity we bring to the whole picture. It's these four things, working together, that determine whether we're preserving our natural coherence or, over time, just slowly letting it dissolve. And that leads us to another really important distinction. A lot of people mix up karma with fate, right? Like it's some kind of predetermined destiny that just happens to us and we have no say in it. But the Gita, well, it presents karma as an active intelligence, a deep ethical logic that is always in motion. You can almost think of this karmic intelligence as an underlying operating system for reality. It's this ethical logic that just keeps running in the background, even when our own human systems, like our justice systems or just social perception, when they fail or break down, it's still there, running, even when the truth gets twisted or justice seems a long way off. All right, so that's the core concept. But who is the series really for? Well, these lessons are meant as a direct invitation, an invitation to those of you who might already feel this sense of alignment at work in your own lives, even if you've never really had a name for it. So I want to ask you directly, as I go through these next few points, just listen and see if any of this resonates. See if you recognize yourself in this description. These lessons, they're for those of you who always try to act responsibly but find you're often misunderstood for it. They're for those of you who choose restraint in environments that seem to reward nothing but excess. This is for you if you carry a certain clarity within you that doesn't need anyone else to validate it. And maybe most importantly, this is for anyone who keeps trying to stay in alignment, even when it's hard, especially when it's inconvenient. So the big question is, how do we actually apply this? The whole goal here is to build a bridge from this ancient wisdom directly into the messy, complex reality of our modern lives. This isn't going to be some dry academic exercise. It's all about practical, real-world reflection. So, in each lesson, we'll draw from the Gita, but we're going to use it to talk directly about the challenges we all face today. We'll look at the subtle dynamics happening in our families and at our jobs. We'll talk about the integrity of our institutions, the overwhelming noise of our digital lives, and, of course, the landscape of our own inner conflicts. Now, it's really important to set the right expectation here. This series is not commentary meant for debate. It's not about proving who's right and who's wrong. No. Instead, this is a space for reflection. It's for those of you who just have that feeling, that sense that there's something deeper at work, even when everything on the surface looks chaotic or maybe even unjust. And that brings me to one last point. You can think of it as a final threshold, but it's really more of a gentle invitation, just to make sure that this is the right space for you right now. So just take a second and ask yourself, honestly, why am I here? Am I here looking for confirmation of beliefs I already have? Or am I genuinely seeking clarity, even if that means I might have to challenge some of those beliefs. And look, if you're here hoping for simple confirmation, I just want to be upfront. These lessons might not be that comforting. Because, as you probably know, the path to real clarity, well, it often involves a bit of discomfort. But if you are here for that clarity, if you're willing to explore new perspectives and sit with some pretty complex ideas, then I can tell you, you are in exactly the right place. Welcome. With that, let us begin today's Karmic Intelligence lesson.